finals game.
How are you? Good. Great. I'd like to take the ownership of the day. Give a little rundown of what we did and how we did it. We'll get to what you came from. So we put these ribs on offset stove. So these are these. You guys can see them now. So this is So, like I said, we have an insulated fire basket. We run all we use. Area just so we put the soft building sets So, like I said, this is insulated. We have a fire basket that's in there. We have a second rebound and one of these charges. We have our intake. It's a lot different than most of the offsets have. So, what that does for us is so these are the ribs. Baby backs there. Use a water feed. So we use that in the first 2 hours of our cook. We won't have this spread. Spreads and things so we don't get too bad. So and then after 2 hours works, we wrap up. It's really happy. But because the read here. But anyway. So if you guys want to have a seat, Rich will take over from here.
How you doing, sir? Man, I have to imagine y'all are having an evening day. You get to try all these great ribs. So my name is Rich Barger. I'm from Lowell, Michigan. Jay and I met about 7-8 years ago. As he explained, he's the developer, designer, pit builder, connoisseur of the Outlaw BBQ. So I own and develop Triple Nine. So Triple Nine Barbecue is basically years of me cooking and deciding like what I like, how it affects what happens on that pit, as he just explained, is that having that water pan open, get more, and then putting up chairs, smoke at the end. So that's how these are all designed. We just kept tweaking, and this is the seasoning I use on these baby backs today. It's called Justice for All. So we designed this. It is a large grain sugar and a large grain salt, and then which you don't necessarily see a lot in the barbecue rubs because I wanted it to melt slowly. Because most rubs will melt really fast as you cook it, and then they'll create more of a bark that's too hard. And this melting slowly gives you a better flavor. So to balance this out, is we designed and developed this called Judgment Day. As you can see, we have fun with our names. So Judgment Day is basically everybody's gonna get their judgment, and so we designed this to go specifically with our rub. Judgment Day is in every one of these sauces for you today. I'm sorry, I thought it was coming up on me. But so these baby backs came from Rockford, Michigan. There's a retired military man that I met about 4 years ago, and he raised his Berkshire hogs at his house. So he really wanted wanted to get into barbecue, and I told them, like, can you give me enough ribs? And you guys know, like, we have to cook a lot of ribs to do the competition. We were able to successfully grow and raise and feed out enough ribs to satisfy my addiction and coming to cook for myself. So here we go. So how we did is we were up about 3 a.m. this morning, fired this thing up, and we got it up to about 275 degrees. We cook them for an hour, and then we butter the top. And I think the buttering the top just gives it that deep, rich flavor, but it also helps the rubs set a little better because we did wrap them at 2 hours. And when we wrap them at 2 hours, we use more butter and then we use judgment. But if you wrap them too soon or before your rub sets enough, it will wash all that goodness off. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So after that 2 hours, then we go another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, based on how long, it all depends on the marbling of the rib or how long it will take. And then we glaze it. And so here we're going to start with these. And I'm going to serve the ladies first. You're welcome, man. You guys, son. You look like you're hungry. There we go. So again, here is our barbecue sauce called Judgment. And glazed on there. We also have if you're so inclined that you need a little bit more, we did use this on our Sundays. The blind is that we take this Justice for All and we grind it up a little bit just to balance out that Judgment Day. So nice and mighty. Yep, sir. Sir. Oh, I really made that. So, yes, Judgment Day is, it's been a work in progress. We constantly, in the beginning, before we got to today, we were working on it. We were doing iteration, because if you come up with that recipe at home and you go to a co-packer and, there's some co-packers that will use a different kind of ketchup. They'll make their own ketchup, or they'll make their own Worcestershire sauce, or and it affects the end result. So even though we had to come up with that recipe at home, once we got it to them, because we're not a USDA facility, we had to tweak little bits here and there on the seasonings, and like the pepper and the honey and stuff like that, just balance it out to match like the different kinds of sauces or the different spices. No fruit. It's got a little bit. That's why I use a little bit of that ground up Justice for All, just to balance out that little bit of sweet. Probe my ribs? I do not probe my ribs. So that's a good question. So like when I go in and me and him go back and forth, it's like two bowls in a China shop sometimes. But like I don't like to probe anything. I don't probe a brisket, like when I cook brisket, pork butt, chicken, nothing. all by feel. And I do it by feel because where I'm from, our elevation is 650 feet. And our boiling point is 211.34. And when you come to Galax, which is, this is my first time in Galax, so I had to figure this out as I was driving through the mountains. Your boiling point is 207.6. Something right around there, depending on the barometric pressure. Well, if I was probing, because as a lot of cooks do, they'll go like 209, like where I'm from, 209, 210 on a spare rib is what they want. Well, if you have that in your mind, wherever you go, you're going to have to constantly adjust that temp, and then they're going to be shooting for stars. So I taught myself how to cook everything by feel. It doesn't matter where I go, and I can just pick it up, and I can feel it, and I know if it's done. So, thank you for that question. Is there anything else, anything I missed that you guys would like to know? Would you like more? Want a rack to go? No more room? I've been feeding the coffee shop. They've been feeding me espressos. I've been feeding them barbecue. You know what? My wife tells me I have to limit myself to 12 shots. And I was right at 12 yesterday. I told her, I'm like, I hit my limit.
My hair would be standing on end.
I love the coffee. These are really great. Really good coffee. Would you like some more? Good. I really appreciate you guys coming. And like I said, if you have any other questions, if you'd like to come back and give me feedback, I'd love to get that feedback. But I hope this is the best rib you've had. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for visiting. We couldn't do what we do without you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So, what it is, it's 4,000 pounds.
That'd be awesome.
Especially my helpers.
Down there in the back 40.